Just like so many other massive gaming companies over the past several years, Ubisoft has been very upfront about the fact that they want to push DEI in every way they possibly can. And of course, so much of it reached a fever pitch nearly 4 years ago with them tweeting out Black Lives Matter, donating to the NAACP, and talking about their commitment to diversity and how it takes time. Well, certainly, Ubisoft, no stranger to injecting wokeness in a lot of their games, when it was rumored that the next Assassin's Creed that was going to be in Japan, in feudal Japan, what most people assume will just be a lesser version of Ghost of Tsushima, to be honest with you, it was rumored that one of the protagonists was going to be based off a quote-unquote black samurai, which is this kind of myth that's been perpetrated. Yasuke, the first black samurai, which really he was more of a retainer or servant, and it's been really blown out of proportion. However, that was the rumor several months ago. Well, now we know that that rumor was 100% true. Assassin's Creed Shadows leak confirms Yasuke as a protagonist. The leak cover art for Assassin's Creed Shadows has seemingly confirmed a long-standing rumor. And certainly we see this. You see basically a black samurai and a female ninja type character. Gundam's right here. I'll be damned. The leaks were true. They really made the samurai black in a time period where there are only a handful of Dutch and Portuguese trading in Japan and maybe some Chinese. And they officially debuted the trailer for the game today. And yeah, nothing screams feudal Japan like a black dude with an African accent as one of the playable characters. Let's listen to a little bit of this here.
Who are you? We are the shadows
that serve the light.
The ocean's filled with new ships, but they all come from the same river. Greed, power, vengeance. We must learn to trust
and follow the blade.
Together.
Together. Wakanda forever. It's basically what they're going for here. And it's so fucking predictable at this point. Learning the Law tweeted this out. Ubisoft, game set in Italy, play as an Italian man. Game set in France, play as a Frenchman. Game set in America, play as a Native American man. I think half Native American and half English, if I remember right. Game set in Greece, play as a Greek man. Game set in Norway, play as a Norseman. Game set in Japan, they're saying the quiet part out loud. Yes. The thing is, when it comes to this specific character of Yasuke, I think there's a little typo in Grum's tweet here. For the past several years, there's been this big push to make this character like a legendary part of Japanese culture, when the reality was it's completely overblown. It's kind of along the same lines as people claiming that black people are the original Vikings and all this nonsensical stuff. Well, now we're learning that they actually changed what this game was originally supposed to be. Ubisoft apparently changed Assassin's Creed Shadows, throwing away the original story, and instead running with Yasuke, an obscure black retainer of Nobunaga, as front and center. A Ubisoft writer who worked on the game says the original story was completely different. And this is right here. Let me see if I can find the screenshot right here. I worked on some narrative elements of the Sanuga era of Japan for Assassin's Creed back in 2013-14 when I worked under contract. I guess they tossed that all out for Black Samurai and some cannon-destroying boss. Now, he goes into great detail about the story that he originally was part of creating that had no Black Samurais anywhere in it. Oh well, Black Samurai and Kanoki it is. What a shame. And Grunts would go on to say, this gels with what Ubisoft tells me. Ubisoft's completely locked down with DEI and is the most oppressive studio to work at, as DEI is everywhere. Yasuke himself is a footnote in the Nobunaga story. Nobunaga was I don't know if I'm saying that right, was fascinated with the color of his skin, and he was kept as a retainer until Nobunaga was betrayed and slain. Yasuke fought part of that battle but surrendered and was in prison. Not much is known about him. What is known is there's no actual record of him being a samurai, donning the armor, anything like that. He essentially was a glorified servant for this guy because he was fascinated because they'd never seen a black person before. The first time they met him, they made him strip like his shirt off and scrub his skin because they thought it was added after that. Yet he's been heralded as the first black samurai, which there's no proof of anywhere. And they take that story. The first time you're doing a Assassin's Creed in feudal Japan, and instead of really honoring the Japanese history like we saw in something like Ghost of Tsushima, Instead, we know exactly what this is. It's just more woke propaganda bullshit. And here we are. The rumors of them using a fictional black samurai as the basis for this game looks like it's true. Sorry, people of Japan. If you wanted to focus on that, you could certainly. There's a lot of things you could do in Africa, but for some reason, they don't want to do that. We did have the Egyptian one. We did have one in Africa. We did have an African protagonist. But I guess we can't have a Japanese man be a protagonist in this. You need the black man. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.